Our next guest has been covering the Hunter Biden scandals from the very beginning. You know her, Fox News contributor and New York Post columnist Miranda Devine joins us right now from Wilmington. Hey, Miranda.
Hey, good morning, Steve.
Well, as Rich just indicated, Wilmington, Delaware, that's where Joe Biden's got his campaign headquarters. Every other federal building in Delaware, it seems like, has a Biden name on it. I know the most popular rest stop on the Turnpike on 95 is the Joe Biden rest area. Joe Biden's name is all over that state. So some are wondering whether or not people would want to go against the Biden family.
Look, that's the $64,000 question, Steve. And really, the fact that Joe Biden came here last night, you know, everybody in Wilmington knows when the president is town. Roads are closed. There are flashing lights leading up to his house. His house, the whole road is blocked off, no one is in any doubt that the President of the United States is in town and keeping a very close eye on what Judge Mary Ellen Noriega is doing in her courtroom, right, on each one of those jurors that are being chosen today. And the prosecutors and Special Counsel David Weiss, who's from Wilmington, it weighs heavily on them. And Joe Biden has made a real conspicuous display of being alongside his son the last 2 weeks. Right. It's been extraordinary, the number of sightings, right down to, the bike ride at Rehoboth Beach on Saturday morning. We've never seen that before. Sure. Hunter Biden closely trailing his dad, getting on and off Marine One, getting on and off Air Force One, at the White House, in the Rose Garden, at a state dinner. Right. It's all sending a signal. You don't have to say anything. You just have to say, mess with my son, you mess with me.
Well, and Miranda, out of nowhere, he had never gone to his former daughter-in-law, Hallie Biden's house. Never, not once in his life, I've heard from our White House correspondent. And then he just shows up on the eve of this particular trial kicking off. I've been reading a lot about, and you're the expert at this, but I've been reading a lot about how David Weiss has presented this. It's a very simple case. He lied on the gun form. But I've read that apparently his high-dollar attorney, Abbe Lowell, who has represented many, many people in Washington, D.C., it sounds like what he's going to do is he's going to present to the jury two different gun forms. One of them was the original, and one was from years later, and somebody had written something on it, and it sounds like it may have been somebody from the gun store. So he's going to suggest that somebody tampered with that, and in fact, just to create a reasonable doubt. And so then you got to wonder whether or not that's good. Maybe this isn't such an easy case after all.
Well, look, if Abbe Lowell, who's one of the most expensive and the most high-powered attorneys in Washington, if he can't make it complicated, nobody can. And that's what he'll do. He'll be trying to throw in reasonable doubt. The prosecution has a good answer for that question about the gun form. It was just an additional, I think, driver's license or address added in afterwards. But Abbe Lowell is renowned as a jury whisperer, so he's going to make this difficult. And even though the odds for surviving a federal trial for a defendant are pretty low, I think that, unlike the opposite really of Donald Trump, the odds are stacked for Hunter Biden in this case. And I think, interestingly, his own laptop that he abandoned and pretended was sort of Russian disinformation or, was stolen from him or hacked or whatever, that is the prime trial exhibit here. And the key witness, as you just mentioned, is his former lover, former sister-in-law, Hallie Biden, and she will hold the key, I think, to this case.
Plus, in addition to the laptop, they're also going to have his memoir that he wrote a couple of years ago, where he talks about smoking crack. So it's like, okay, are you telling the truth there, or are you telling the truth here? So it'll be interesting to see. Things kick off about 2 hours from right now with jury selection. Miranda, thank you very much. I'm sure you're going to be in the courtroom all week.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, you bet. I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.